Yes, let's go. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good dawn, good whatever, wherever you find yourself. Welcome to another episode of the Power Series. This is the first episode in 2022. Since the new year, this is our first episode, actually, but in total is episode 42. If you're joining us for the first time, my name is Samuel joining yours truly, bringing you Power Platform goodness every Sunday, this and every Sunday at technically 8 p.m. GMT. We're a bit late because I was setting a few things up. But yeah, we'll try to keep it in time. Most times we run for like an hour. But lately, I've been trying to see if I can get things done a little under an hour so that people can appreciate it. Today is more of Ask Me Anything session. We're going to continue our series on AI in Power Platform in next episode. But today, I just want to take a look. I just want us to have a discussion. And then technically for you to ask me anything you want to ask, specifically about the Microsoft Power Automate. I'll be playing around, doing some things you can do, showing you around. I have done series on that. Check my channel on YouTube. I've done introductory, how to do connectors, custom connectors, API. I've done all that. But this is just more having a conversation about it, what you can do with it, play around. I'll try to do a few things to show you how easy it is. And then if you have any questions, you send your questions in. I'll try as much as possible to answer them. That is the focus for today. So let's get into it. Before we do that, when we come back from our intro, we will get right into it. Yes. And if you're joining us for the first time, this is Power Series. It's your one and only show that demystifies the Power Platform to the barest minimums, easy to use and understand. If you're joining us, thank you. If you're watching us from Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, just give us a hi. Let's know you are here. We'll give you a mention and we'll have some fun. Yes, and let me know if the sound is also okay, if the audio, everything works fine. Else I can actually go ahead and do some adjustments. Yeah, I think I want to do this for today's session. I've been playing around my light for some time now, so still in the tweaking. I'll get it right, and then you're going to see, a lot more interesting stuff. But for today, I think we're okay. So, like I said, today is more of a free form. Talk about Power Automate. If you have any questions on it, you can drop it in the chat. I'll try to answer it. If I don't have the answer, I'll reach out to my Power Addict MVP community, and then we'll find the answers to you. If you're working on a project and you're stuck or something like that, this is your opportunity to ask me all the questions you want to ask. And yes, as you know, before we get started, I always like to bring you what's happening in the world of Power Platform. And to do that, let's get right here. So the Global Power Platform Bootcamp is up 2022, starting this month, actually this weekend, 18th to 19th, all across the world. In Ghana, Accra, it's being hosted by the Accra Power Platform User Group. So it's going to happen virtually on the 18th, which is a Saturday from 10 to I think 4 p.m. We have series of people lined up to talk. If you're not registered, please check out. I'll throw the link after the show for you to check out and register. You can also check out the Global Power Platform Bootcamp website. It's there for you to register. Again, our friends all the way in River State, Nigeria, are also hosting it. It's at the University of Port Harcourt, 10 a.m. That's when it's starting. They have the registration link there. It's bit.ly GPPH 2022. GPPH BPH 2022. So that is for River State, Nigeria. Then also for Osun State, Nigeria, they are also hosting it at the Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife. Check them out. Osun State, Nigeria. Also make sure you go out there. So this is bit.ly GPPB 2022 Osun. So check that out. Make sure you register for yourself if you're in Nigeria, anywhere in Osun State, Ile-Ife area. You can join them also here. Then for our friends in Edo State, still in Nigeria, Edo State, it's going to happen. I think at the physically at Edo State. Benin City. I think it's okay. So Edo Innovative Hub at the Edo Innovative Hub, also starting at 11 a.m. So mostly from between 10 to like 4 p.m. on Saturday, globally, and then also virtually wherever you are. Make sure you join one of these meetup groups. We're going to talk about awesome stuff on the Power Platform. So Power Apps, Power Automate, Power BI, all those crazy stuff is going to happen there. So with that out of the way, let's start our conversation. If you're joining us on any of the platforms, just holla at me, say hi, and I'll say hi back to you. So Power Automate. What is Power Automate? Let's actually bring a couple of things out. So we read from Microsoft official side. I don't want to misinform you, so let's do this. Oh yeah, don't worry, I won't misinform you. I've been using it for some time now. I won't misinform you. Just that I want us to look at it from the Microsoft perspective, and also to in the form where how I go about my process of learning and understanding things. That's the reason why I want us to look at it from this perspective. All right. So so let's just get into it. Let me drop this here. So here we go. So we are the Microsoft official Power Automate website. And the first thing you see is take care of what's important, automate the rest. So the catch here is streamline repetitive tasks and paperless. That's pretty much what Power Automate is. Well, Power Automate allows you to automate things you've been doing repeatedly. Say, common example would be you process invoices. Like every day you have to scan an invoice, OCR, read some values of it, do something. Those repetitive tasks, Power Automate allows you to automate them so that you can focus on more important things. Not that what you're doing is not important, but that's what it does. It allows you to automate quickly and more securely in an environment that is provided for you by Microsoft. Boost efficiency because now there are features in it, something like the process advisor that goes through all your automations and figures out the best way to optimize and the way to build your flows, as we call them, in a more efficient way. Then, as you know, most of the Microsoft products already have AI embedded. So there are also opportunities for you to use the AI builder. That's a series we've started where we're trying to incorporate something we're doing in Lobe AI, building a simple AI model in Lobe AI and bringing it into Power Automate. We're going to continue that series next Sunday. We'll talk about the next step. The first step we did, if you missed it, go to our website, our YouTube channel, and watch it, where we used Lobe to train our hands so that if we put 1, the Lobe can tell us 1, 2, or 3. It's just a minimal thing. And then we're going to bring that into Power Automate, right? And then Power Apps, right? So and then also Automate Anywhere, Anytime. So there's Power Automate for desktop that allows you to also do some desktop automated processes like copying files, schedule tasks, and all that. You can run it on the mobile. There's Power Automate for the web, and then there's Power Automate built into Teams. So you can actually do Power Automate stuff in Teams as well. These are some of the things that in most of the global Power Platform bootcamps they will be talking about. So if you don't want to miss it, make sure that you follow them. You go for one of these events and you're going to learn a lot of stuff. And even now, they've brought ALM into it. There are a lot of cool stuff into it. And these are like real customer stories. And so Coca-Cola has used it, T-Mobile, Elimity, a lot of these people. Let's see. I'm not even going to go into the numbers because this is not kind of like a sales pitch or anything. I just want us to know what companies are using it for, and then we'll jump in to see some of the common things that makes it work. Whilst I'm waiting for people to ask any questions, if you don't ask the question, if people don't ask questions, I'll just pretty much go ahead and just play around and do something very simple until someone asks a question. So Coca-Cola bottling company US. Use robotic process automation. So robotic process automation is also is a process where like technically repetitive tasks or things you want to automate in your business process, is done. You can have attended and unattended mode, where unattended is the process is automatically running without any user intervention. There are other processes that also require you to do some input or to do some work as part of the steps. So we're going to see that. Let's see how Microsoft used it. And to actually get there, let me do this. Let's do flow. And this is going to ask me to log in. Do I even remember that password? Yeah, powerautomate.microsoft.com. Let's see if colliding with innovation. So yeah, so let's take a look at this. So it says, let's look. This happened in 2020. So the Coca-Cola bottling company pretty much used it to do some form of an automation. And I want to see manual freestyle cartridge replacement before RP. Okay, so they're saying this was kind of like a process of you requesting I think printer cartridge, right? So there's an order in CRM which is tracked in Excel. Purchase order is created. It translates customer and material numbers. You create an order in the supplier system. You check email for delivery. You check for email for invoice, print it out. Then you carry the documents to APs, account payables. AP scans the document, validate it. So, all these things at some point could be automated. So they came in, did robotic process automation. So quickly, let's look at it. So the solution was built by the company's Fusion team. Now, Fusion team of citizen developers and professional developers. Now, it's a common thing you're going to be hearing lately. Fusion development is a combination of people that do just technically people that don't do traditional hardcore programming versus those that do kind of like low code, no code versus other professionals on your team coming together to build something. So we call them Fusion developers. All right. So technically what it did, they did some data synchronization between their SAP CRM, Azure SQL Server, Azure Data Factory, and then pretty much, combine all stuff. Now, that's one of the powers I've been talking about, the Power Automate. If you've watched some of my previous videos, I have used Power Apps and Power Automate to do some weird things, like control some IoT things I have here. I had this, my all-time favorite, my beer tracking with a flick button, where anytime I take a beer from my fridge, I click that, and I have that also on the channel. You can go check that out. So this is more like a schematic of what Coca-Cola did. Let's go here. So yeah, so from SAP into Data Factory through SQL and a bunch of our automate flows, blob storage, storing them, sending emails, we'll look at a very minimum use case. So they were just talking general Power Automate. So if you have any questions about Power Automate, please do well, to drop it in. We'll try to answer it if I know it. Else I can reach out to my community. So let's see. I'm tempted not to play this, so we'll just leave it as it is. Let's see. Yeah, I was trying to log in. Yeah, so if you're just joining us, this is the Power series. We try to demystify the Power platform to the barest minimum. Today is more or less like a general discussion or ask me anything session on Power Automate. If you have any unique challenge on Power Automate or any question on Power Automate, you can actually drop it in the comments, whether you're watching us from Facebook, from YouTube, or Twitter. And I will try as much as possible to answer that for you or demonstrate it. I think what I'm going to do is I would try to demonstrate or do the first situation or scenario or question anyone asks. So if you ask me, if you're the first person to ask me a question or a kind of something you're working on, I would do that on a show today just to illustrate how versatile we can use it for. So yeah. So let the questions come. I'm trying to log in right now to my Power Automate portal. Okay. Let's see. So if you have any scenario, I mean, there are a lot of scenarios I can think about, but for the sakes of letting people decide what we work on, let's see. Let me try another. Nope. Let's see. Let's try this. Let's do demystify tech. I think it's Samuel. Demystify tech. Oh, I am forgetting. Okay, let's do this. Oh no, I know why. I was typing something else. I wasn't spelling it right. Yes. Let's get into it. More information required. Add it. Let's see. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. I think phone is not configured. Set it up. Well, let's see. So I don't know why it's doing that. Let's see. Let me just do this. Give me a sec. Let me do this right now. Actually, let me just set this up real quick. And if you haven't done that, in the case of all these breaches, please do well to set that up. So what's happening is going to send me, yep, it just sent to me a code on my phone. 75. Okay. This should be done. Okay, yep. I don't. Okay, it wants me to set up another email, technically just for authentication sake. So I'm just going to do that. So let's do this. Yep. Yeah, and I will just quickly set this up. Let's see. I should have received an email from them with the verification code. Okay. Let's see. There we go. Oh, that was terrible. That's wrong. Totally wrong. So I kept looking for my email and nothing was showing up. So let's see. This should be the correct one. There you go. There we go. So let's enter the code. Super. All right. I think we're done. And let's finish this. Yep. There we go. Yeah, so this should work. So for those joining us, thank you very much for joining us. And I'll ask the question again. Do you have any questions pertaining to Power Automate? Do you have any scenarios pertaining to Power Automate you want me to showcase, or you want me to try to use Power Automate to solve, so we can learn on the project? I would be glad to show you that. Yep. So yeah, so this is the Power Automate interface, and I'm just going to walk you through, something basic. Like I mentioned, I have done in-depth videos on technically how to, like from the beginning to do stuff. This is just a conversation, and also just a way. It's just a way for us to, just kind of like familiarize ourselves with what's up and what's happening. So, yep. I'm going to show you around, and we're going to have some. Okay. All right. Let's do that. Let's get into it. Yep. So we're just, and if you have any questions or anything, let us know, and then we can have some fun. So yeah, this is a tenant I use for almost all my shows, Demystify Tech. So you might see a few things in here. I think I've built a few flows either in this one or some other account that I use to demonstrate these things. So when you come in here to, your flow, this is what you get. Okay, this is the different one. So let's get to the homepage. So this is what what pops up. And as you can see, there are some popular services you can use. Now, what makes Microsoft Power Automate very powerful and strong, is the fact that there are like hundreds of connectors, over 200 plus connectors that allow you to integrate your process workflow into different parts. So you see Twitter, you see MailChimp, you see Dropbox, you see Google, you see Slack, there's Twilio, there's SQL Server. See, over 625 services, and counting, and more are adding up. If for some reason you don't see your service or connector, you're actually allowed to create your own custom connector or APIs and connect to it. Once you can pretty much write, basic APIs or use Swagger, hey, you're good to go. So there are multiple flows. You have approval request, where a step has to be approved by someone before you move to the other step. You can add conditions. You can connect to on-premise data by using, the data gateways. It's secured, pretty much end to end. So there's a lot of stuff you can do. If you have any questions, you can bring it. And when you come into the homepage, you have a couple of, quick examples. Like here, there's one that says, follow up on a message. So if someone sends you a message in Slack, you can follow up on it. There's this one that says start an approval when the file is added to SharePoint. This one says notify me when a planner task changes status. We've done this a few times. And then save messages to OneNote. You can look at, a lot of them. And then you can look at one in terms of remote work. There's actually some samples that are related to remote work. Email me when a list is of upcoming calendar events. There are ones related to emails. There are a few of them that are also related to notifications, saving to the cloud, and approval. Now, let's look at this. Let's open up the services or the connectors or things that make integrating flows quite easily. Now, you see from the top here some of the popular connectors. Office 365, OneDrive, Office 365 users, SharePoint, Microsoft Dataverse, Twitter, notifications, RSS, Dynamics, there's Blackbird. There's like different services that you can use, right? Different services. If GitHub, Box, Asana. If for some reason, how do you connect IoT device to Power Automate? Thanks, Shadrach. We've done this a couple of times, right? We've done this. Let me see. So it's quite simple to do, Shadrach. So most times when you're communicating with devices like IoT devices, you're using endpoints or REST endpoints or APIs. All right. So what happens is that Power Automate allows you to communicate via APIs. So as soon as something happens or comes from that API, you can do something. So, Bennett, hey, long time. Thanks for joining. Does it have a Google service integration? Yes, it has. So just like I was saying, we can do a test example right now. Shadrach, to answer your question before I come to Bennett. So yes, most of the IoT devices or IoT services speak HTTP or some REST, right? So you can use that to connect your devices. If you check my YouTube channel, I used Power Automate, a Power Apps app, to turn on an IoT fan and light in my room, which was quite basic. So I just created a Power Apps UI, and on the button clicks, I called the Power Automate that was doing an HTTP request to IoT Hub, and then some Azure functions that was calling it and having that happen. So yes, you can do that. You can connect that. A lot of my IoT and Power Apps examples have leverage connectors at the back. There's this good friend of mine. He's crazy. He's awesome. He is like a typical real life of someone who always is connecting IoT to Power Automate or Power Platform. He's supposed to have come on the show sometime earlier on last year, sometime late last year, but I couldn't set things up. But I promise you, as you know, most times on Power Series, I bring guests to come and talk about stuff. So I will bring him back. I'll bring him back very soon, and he'll show you how he actually used Power Automate to control a drone. Yes, I think I have just a sec. Let me show you something. So this is what he did. So this here. Today I'm not using my bench. So this here is a Tello drone, right? It's a Tello drone. It's one of those educational drones you can program to fly left to right by using Scratch and stuff like that. And and they have APIs that allow you to to write your own code to communicate with them. So what he did was he created kind of like a whole flight simulation, a flight control dashboard in Power Apps, connected it to OpenCV. This also has a camera. There's a camera in there. Did some OpenCV with Python and could stream the video coming from the drone to the Power Apps interface, and then he could actually turn it left, turn it right. So I'll bring him on the show, and then he'll show you how to do it. But at the base or at the core of that integration is pretty much Power Automate, and then a bunch of API calls. So I don't know, Shadrach, if that answers your question, but that's how you can do it. Yes, Bennett, does it have Google service integration? Yes, actually, let me show you. As you can see, there's Gmail. I don't know if you can see my screen right now. Yeah, so there's Google Drive and there's Gmail. So, for example, you could create a simple flow that says that, let's say, when you receive an email that contains or that has an attachment, save the attachment in Google Drive. You can do that. You could also say that, hey, when someone tweets at me and there's a picture or something, take that picture and save it somewhere. So yeah, Bennett, you can do this. There's integration with Google. So you think about it. Yes, there's Google here. There's Google Drive. You can do FTP. There's Trello. There's Dropbox. There's GitHub. There's even YouTube. Yeah. So one of the things that I have been wanting to do for a long time. So most of us MVPs, anytime. Hey, Jaffa, welcome. Wow, this is totally amazing. Some Power Automate plus RT. Oh, yes, yeah. We've done... he has been on the show before. That my friend I'm talking about, he's been on the show before. And I'll bring him back, yeah. He crazy, yes. He does a lot of industrial stuff. There was one that he connected a miniature jet engine also to Power Apps. So he could control and check a couple of things. So it's really amazing. So you don't have to create any, excessive crazy UIs and stuff. Like, you can do that. You can always do that in Power Automate. One of the things I'm exploring, and I'll write a full article when I'm done, is you see that there is a 3D printer behind me. There is I think an image or OS called Octopi that allows you to connect your 3D printer. And then it has a camera that allows you to have kind of like time lapse when you're printing things on the 3D printer. And then also to control the printer in case of emergencies and stuff like that. I'm trying to explore that to see how I can actually connect my 3D printer through the Octopi, through, Power Automate, and then through to Power Apps. And also to the extent that I would be able to use Power Apps to probably take a picture of something and call some API service to convert that 3D model or upload a 3D model from Power Apps. And then it would take that 3D, convert it to the G code, which the printers need. And then it would send it through Octopi, send it to my 3D printer, and then it will print. So yeah, there are lots of use cases you can do that. So yeah, so Japhet, yes, there's a lot of interesting things to do. And if you actually check previous episodes on my IoT show, I've shown how I did it. I showed how I connected there was a light, a siren, and then a fan on my desk, which was running on the Raspberry Pi. And then it was being controlled by Power Apps. I have also done that. But like I said, the basis of a lot of the automation that come from Power Apps runs through Power Automate, so it can be done. Bennett, I don't know if that answers your question, but yeah, you have connectors all over. You can use to do it. So pretty much now you probably realize some of them have premium connectors and some of them don't have. Now, premium connectors technically mean you need some additional license to use them, in production. So you might have to get like an add-on, like a Power Automate add-on license to be able to run those premium connectors. We can see we have African stocking for our friends in East Africa. And I think African stocking is in, Ghana as well. So if you want to do SMS stuff with it, you can. Twilio, there's even Adobe Creative Suite. What else? Yeah, lots. Azure Data Factory. And if you don't, like I said, if you don't see yours, it is easy for you to write or create your own. And I've shown how to do that on one of the episodes. I think 2 episodes actually. 2 episodes. I showed you how to create your own custom connectors and use them in Power Automate, Power Apps, any of the Power things. All right. So yeah. So as you can see and counting, these are all the connectors. So in terms of, you can see details, custom connectors here. So this is where I would come to create a custom connector using Swagger or any of the REST compatible, and it has a clean UI. You can easily do that. I have done that in recent times, creating a HubSpot custom connector. I'm hoping to through my company make it official so that Microsoft can accept it into the app, the marketplace, so people can use it. Then the cool part is the AI builder. Like I was saying, we're using the AI builder in our current episode, where we're going to build AI models, bring them in, and then leverage it. It's actually interesting because if you go to the AI builder and you click on build, right? This is where you can actually use the AI builder tools and AI builder forms to create custom AI models from right within the whole Power Automate environment. And then once you're done, you can now use this in Power Automate or in your business flow. Let's give an example. Let's say anytime purchase orders coming, right? You have to scan them, attach them to some file, and they try to extract the data to do something. You can now use AI Builder forms to actually scan, create a template of the different invoices, so that anytime that invoices arrive, whether by picture or PDF, the AI module will know this invoice is from company A, and these are the places where the data is for us to extract, and then extract those data and store them in a database or whatever you want to do. All right. This is taking a bit, but let's go back. Let me show you something here. Yeah, something went wrong. I figured that myself. I'm not sure this environment even has. Let's see. I doubt if this environment has. I have that enabled. If it's not enabled, yeah, that's not going to show. But we'll check that. I'll show you how to do that now. So home, as we've seen, allows you. That's just your home is just your first look at things. If you have any action items in terms of approvals or business flows that are waiting on you, they will show in this section. Then your flows or my flows are technically what you have created. The flows that you've created will show here. Cloud flows, desktop flows, business process flows, and flows that have been shared with you, you see them here. It also gives you the ability to install flows. and then to actually download and install the Power Automate for desktop, and also set up an on-premise data gateway. An on-premise data gateway is one of the bridges or utilities that allows you to connect data that is residing on your on-premises or on private systems into the Microsoft Cloud to allow Power Automate to use it to process stuff. Yeah. And then if you go to create here, this is where you would, go to create your stuff. Nothing crazy, automated, that are triggered when, an event happens. You have instant flows that are actually triggered manually, but once you run it, it's going to fire. We have scheduled cloud flows, those that are scheduled to run, all right, at a specific time. You have desktop flows, which is the automatic, which is kind of like robotic process automations on the desktop side of things. And they have business process flow, that is pretty much multi-step process, like, your entire business processes. You can also use that to do it. Then templates are out of the box blueprint, so to speak, that allow you to build your Power Automate flows rapidly. You can pick different sections or different categories, and then it will give you some, examples. Like, for instance, look at this one: keep my schoolwork in sync with my Google Drive. So you have one here: save Gmail attachment to Dropbox. It's also here. Samples here you can use. So for Bennett, there's some samples here you can play with. Now, the good thing is that you can sign up for the Microsoft Developer account and the Power Platform Community account that allows you to test and do all this for free at no cost. Let me put it out there. You can sign up for this, and you can have the access to do all these for free as a developer. So don't miss it. One thing I want to talk about also is something called the concept of solutions. So solutions allow you or give you the opportunity to logically group all flows that are related to a project or a particular process together. So you don't have all your flows scattered here. You don't even know where the flow is. So solutions allow you to do that. So you can create a solution, and in a solution, you can create multiple and different flows, right? Or you could be instant flows, business process, different flows, but then once they are logically put together. And also the cool thing is that putting flows in solutions allow you to do application lifecycle management. So which means that you can easily ship your flows into another environment, package it, do continuous deployment and all that. Solution supports that. Yeah, so I hope that answered your questions. So what example are we going to do? I think it's like, so let me see, let me show you something here. Let me be sure I can do this. Not from here. Let's do it here. So if we go to the let me open the admin center in a new tab, and let's view all the Power Platform. Okay, so this is what I wanted to show. So if you click on view all Power Automate settings, right, you can do this on the Power Platform side, and that affects everything. But if you do it on Bennett, can you use the schedule cloud flow as some kind of cron job for? Yes. I think that'll be an interesting one to show right now. I'll show you something. So I think I have this API that, okay, let me show. I'll show you something real quick. Before then, so if you click on view Power Automate settings, right, you click that. You say, I want my default language to be English, my region or locale. Well, let me keep it to the United States. And then you see this, these features might change, break, or disappear at any time. So if you turn on experimental features, this means that within your environment, you're going to be exposed to some of the new features they're working on, but that are in experiment, like experimental stage, not publicly available. I like to do that because I want to experiment, but then I don't use any of those experimental features in production. No, unless Microsoft comes in and say, hey, we're done with it, and then you can use this, you can use this now in production, then yes, we're going to do it. So back to you, Bennett. Yes, we can actually do that. Let's see. We can do some kind of schedule. So let me show you something. Let me quickly show you something for the sakes of If you heard that, that is my little girl who just like got back, and hopefully she doesn't interrupt our show. Anyways, so like I was saying, so I'm trying to get let's get this. Let's do this. Okay, please ensure third-party cookies are enabled in your browser. Something is really okay. Let's see this. Which of the browsers are we using? Okay, we're using Chrome. That's fine. Okay, so let's open solutions and see. If it doesn't open, I'll change my environment or change yeah, I'll change my, how do you call it? I'll change my tenant and then we can use it. I thought, let's see what's happening here. So Bennett, I'm going to show you an example of something that is kind of like a schedule. Yes, you can do that. Let's see. So give me a sec. Let's do this. I'm trying to check this out just to be sure why this is not happening. Let's see. So okay. So it's still saying, please ensure that third-party cookies are enabled. Let's see. I'm not sure. I think anything of, but let's see. Okay. Let's see. Let me enable this and let's see where that's happening. Let's go to settings. And then let's go to the advanced section. Okay. And let's look for, where is that? Manage your account. No. Let's see this. So this is advanced settings. Not appearance, security, security and private. Okay, so cookies and so third party cookies are blocked. So I think this is it. So block all sites. Let's see, sites can use cookies to improve your browser, for example. Block. Okay, so let's just change this only in incognito mode. All right. And then let's close this and then let's try this again. I think that's what is messing up some of the things. Yeah. Well, this seems to be loading a bit faster. Yeah, there you go. Yay. Awesome. So yeah, so if you have that problem, just enable the third-party cookies and you should be fine. So as you can see, Power Apps Checker, Common Data Set default solution. So this will be a solution. So let's say this thing we want to do right now, I can create a new solution and we will call this let's say the numbers bot. Okay. So let's just call this a numbers bot. Select the default publisher. I'll use a CD as default publisher, and then I'll create. So I'm just creating a solution, which is kind of like a logical wrapper around it. I know we have a couple of minutes to go, but I'll just show this. So in the numbers bot, I'll open here in the numbers bot, and then this would give me, this just opens the numbers bot in here. Now we're going to try to create a simple recurring. All right. So let's go and look at this, right? I think the numbers API. Let's just like time API. The numbers API. So those who know me realize that this API is something that I love a lot. It allows me, it's a very cool, I think it's a very cool site. I don't know if it takes HTTPS. I'm not sure. Let's see. Hopefully this should work. Okay. Looks like, no, okay. I don't think it does. Okay, let's do this. Yeah, it doesn't. Hold on. Let's go back. Okay. Yeah. So, okay, don't worry. We're going to try that. Let's see. Let's do this. Let's say random code API. I'm just trying to look for allow you to access extensive. Let's see. 12 code generators API alternative. I don't like this. Go code, Zen code. Zen code is a simple API that I can use to go from influential codes throughout history. Let's try this. Okay, but again, the reason I want to look for an HTTPS is the fact that I just want, now, let's say random math. Or let's say, yeah, let's use random math. Now, you see this endpoint. Okay, see this endpoint. Anytime you call this math endpoint, look at this. It says it generates a new, how do you call it? It generates a new number fact. So it says 4489 is a square whose digits are non-decreasing. All right. So let me just copy this. Now, Bennett, we're going to do something very simple. We're going to create a Twitter, let's say a scheduled Twitter post. So let's say every 2 minutes, for the sake of time, every 2 minutes, it should tweet a random number fact from my account, right? If you were to do this as a developer, imagine how long that's going to take you, right? So you can see the random number, the trivia, the date, right? So I can use any of this, like 5 math or stuff, right? I can say I want to do trivia, whatever that is. But let's just keep it. Let's probably even keep it to, let's say trivia. Let's check something. I just want to see something. Let's try. So 3 is the number of notes in the, okay, so let's use trivia, right? So I'm going to copy this. You can try with this with other APIs you want, right? No API key is required. You have to subscribe, influential people, quote of the day, yesterday's history. So this looks like something that would be cool, but I'm going to show you the numbers one, and then easily you can apply it. So let's come here. So here, we're going to add our first, it's going to be a flow automation. So it's going to be a cloud flow. It's an automated cloud flow. All right. So the first thing you're going to do, as you've seen, Power Automate is a low code, no code. So it's a visual editor. So you're going to drag things and drop things. Like I said, this is not beginning to Power Automate. This is just a general conversation. So I've done this several times. If you want to follow how to go back, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and then go check out, the how-to steps. So let's do this. So the concept of triggers and actions. So in our case, the trigger is going to be what is going to kick off this flow. In our case, it's going to be a scheduled trigger. So which means, this trigger is going to run every 2 minutes from now, or from when we create the flow. And all it's going to do is going to call the endpoint, is going to call the numbers API, get a number fact, and then tweet it, right? So if you look at this, 2 things involved: APIs and then a Twitter connector. And you see how easy it is versus getting Twitter API keys, secret keys, connection, plenty keys, creating a whole lot of flow. You see that. So if only we can get this to run. But this seems a bit interesting. So there's document authors keyword. So what do I need to do? This is simple, influential. Wow, this looks well. So building an app. Okay, so here you go. Simple request. No, I don't want anything. Generate a quote. Okay, so let's say quote of the day. So generate a random quote on each request. Generate a JSON array of available authors and no. So let's say this. Let's try. Yes, this has HTTP. Yes. So I'm going to call this. I'm just going to call this in the browser, and then let's see what happens if I call this in the browser. Oh, look at that. Quote. It's not whether you get knocked down. It's whether you get back up. The author is Vince Lombardi, and this is HTML. That's all the blogs and all the cool things. I think we should use this. Okay, so I want to see the raw thing. Okay, this is how it comes, right? So it always comes, it's going to come as an array, right? An array of codes, but in the codes they have this. So let's keep this open and let's go and see which this one also. I don't want the one that needs me to put a key. I don't like it. But anyway, we're just going to test something. So let's keep it simple first, right? So there you go. So maybe let's try this. Okay. Let's copy this and then let's come to a solution. So here it is going to be, if I do a schedule, I'll say, oh no, sorry, this is a name. So I'll just call it, let's just say we are going to call it the fact, or let's just call it random fact. All right. And the trigger here, I will say schedule. Oh, let's say time. Let's see. Build an, oh no, I don't think I chose the correct, actually, you know what? I don't think I chose the correct one. So let's open this. And then let's do, yeah, we're going to go, you see that? So so automated instant schedule. So we're going to do a scheduled. It's going to open the same dialog though, but just that this is going to, be predefined. Like, there you go. You see it. So here, I'll just call the same thing, random fact. And then it's starting today. Today is 13th, right? Starting today. And you see this, we can say repeat every 2 minutes. No, let's use 3 minutes, right? And then you see when it's starting. So I'm going to change this. What's the time? To make it take effect, I'll say that this should have started 9:30 p.m. All right, 9:30 p.m. Yeah, so this means that, and I click on create. So this means that this flow should have kicked in, like I'm backdating the time a bit so that it will run immediately after we save it. So the first thing we want to, so now this is the trigger. So this means that if you open this up every 3 minutes, you can see it every 3 minutes, interval of 3 minutes, this flow, whatever the next step I'm going to define is going to happen. All right. So let's go ahead and then let's do HTTP. And then I can see an HTTP here, right? And then I can say, just make an HTTP request. And I see that, yeah. Let's try. Let's use trial. Yeah, because it's a premium connector, it's asking me to do that. So the method here is going to be get, and I'm not going to explain get in this. If you don't know that, please, that we can do that in another episode. So not here. So remember, we're using this one, right? So we're going to copy this and then paste it here. We don't have any headers. We don't have nothing. This is just it. We just make a request, right? Now, when the request comes, okay, let me see. So this is how, let me look at the raw thing. So it comes in here. There is a footer. There is a, so let's see the raw one. I'm going to copy this raw thing. Okay. and I'm going to open Sublime. There's a reason why I'm doing this. I'll explain later. I'm going to paste this here, and I'll change this to JSON. There you go. And let me see if I can pretty JSON format. There you go. I just wanted to format it. So I'm going to copy this, and you're going to understand very soon why I'm doing this. All right. So the next thing I want to do, and like I say, if we want to, this is not a Power Automate tutorial. We're just talking general Power Automate, and I'm showing how to do something. So if you want to understand what I'm doing, please go watch previous episodes. We'll finish this and then we'll call it a day. So what I want to do is pass. I want to pass the JSON. So the content, like I said, this is a visual program. So the content is going to be the body from this HTTP call. All right. And then I'm going to generate from a sample. So that's why I copied that. So when I do this and click done, now this, how do you call it? This here knows what it's expecting. If you look at this, it knows the structure of the response that it's expecting. All right. So we can even leave it here. Click on save. Right. And then test it out. So we'll test this flow to see what's happening. So ideally, if the test is successful, and here I'm not doing any like exception handling, I'm just showing how to easily do this. And then the next part will be putting this on Twitter. All right. So with this, if I go and click on test the flow and say manually let's test, and I do test, what's going to happen is that it's going to run this. There you go. It's going to go to that website with a URL, call it, and then it will pass the JSON. So once this is done, we'll see. It will take and show us that I like this green I'm seeing. That tells me that the flow ran successfully. So as you can see, HTTP was called, and then when it was called, you see, check this out. See the body. So that's the body of the HTTP request. All right, that was the body. And then if you come back to the parse JSON, this is what we get. So the output of this gives us, and like I said, this is just me showing. I could have even omitted this parse JSON and then went ahead to do my own thing. But in some cases, you might want to, keep things clean. Sorry. So let's go ahead and edit. Now we know that we are getting a random code. We are passing it. The next thing I want to do is now I want to tweet it. All right. Or I can say, you know what? I want to get the code. All right. But I already know. So let me just close this for now. And then if we go back, and click on this, you can see all the runs that this flow has shown. Right. So yeah, we are nearing the end of today's episode. I'm trying to keep it wrapped. So if you click on this, so I'm going to try to open my, okay, let's see. Yep. So when you pass this, okay, or when you look at this, the output, right? And you look at the parse, the output, this is what you're expecting, right? A and H, right? So let's go ahead and now, so this is the cool part. Adding Twitter integration is as simple as the next step. I want to now tweet the response, right? And then let's look for Twitter. And there you go. It's going to open Twitter. And then I'll say what? Post a tweet. And let's see. Bring your own application. No, I'm just going to sign in. So it's as easy as signing into my Twitter account, authorizing it to say, hey, yes, I'm authorizing this app to use my Twitter account to post things on my timeline. Right? So Bennett is as simple as that. Now, what is the tweet text? Right? This one, I'm not worried. Now, so the tweet text that I want to tweet is actually the result, all right, from, so I'll go ahead and say, do you see it? Do you see it? parse JSON QAH, right? So it is the quote. Now see this. Let's see. So you realize that because it was an array, it tried to say, oh, for each of the results. Is that okay? It says that, oh, for each of the results that comes in, I want you to tweet it, right? And I'll leave it. I could go ahead and tweet it to say just the first one, but I'll leave it at this, all right? So you open this, and then, so this will be the tweet. Sorry, this will be the quote, all right? And then we can do a dash, and then we can say this was said by the author, all right? And then save. That's it. That's as simple. This is a very simplistic form, all right? So to put this to the test, this is saved. Let me go ahead and open Twitter. And then I'm going to go to my profile, all right? You might see my, how do you call it? You might see my live stream, but I will not go in there. So yeah, I'll not let it run automatically. I'll just leave it. Yeah, no, guys. So it doesn't take up all our spaces. So no worry. So now let's go back to our flow. And then again, I'm going to test it manually and then test. All right. Now run the flow. Now don't forget that this has been scheduled. What we are doing now is just a test. So it's done. Now, once I have saved this, by default, the flow is on automatically and it's running. So which means that every 3 minutes from now, this flow would run and then it will put something on my timeline. So check this out. So the flow run, let's look at what came up. It says what? Life is about accepting the challenges along the way, choosing to keep moving forward and severing the journey. Is by Roy T. Bennett. All right. Everyone has occasions to fly if they have the heart to. Okay, that's what that came. Interesting. So let's go to my and then let's see. Did it tweet? Yeah, it worked. So let's go and look at what it tweeted. So this is what it tweeted. Life is about accepting blah 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 blah. When it's done, it put the Roy T. What a coincidence. Bennett, a tweet from you. Okay, so let's go to my Twitter page. I will just refresh my page and let's see what's going to happen. Now, this is already working in intervals of 3 minutes. Now, if I don't turn this tweet off, check this out. Look at this. Everyone has occasions to fly. So this was automatically being pushed by this. Life is about. So look at that. 2 tweets already. All right. So look at how I've automated a simple bot. You can call it a bot or whatever you want. A simple flow that always sends motivational messages out. So if you are, let's say, someone who likes to send messages and things out, you can create an application in Power Apps where you send the messages and then over time you can schedule it. So you can run this every morning. So here I could say that every 5 a.m. pick one of these quotes and send to, tweet it on my Twitter line. All right. And that's going to happen. So right now, if I should refresh it, the process will still continue. And if I don't turn this flow off, you see that every 3 minutes, my Twitter feed would be flooded with a lot of tweets, a lot of, all these live tweets. All right. So let's see. I want us to see another one. So let's refresh again to see if we're going to have a last tweet coming. And then once that happens, we will call it a show. We've gone a bit over an hour. Everyone has okay. Yeah. So that's what. Yeah. So Shadrach, that's what you saw. That's exciting. Yeah. That's the power of Power Automate, I tell you. All right. So let's see. Let me give it a bit. And again, you can go back to the flow, edit it from 3 minutes to once a week, whatever you want to do. You can pretty much do that. All right. Let's give it a few minutes for that to happen. And then once that happens, we can end today's stream. So let's see. So if the last one came 2 minutes ago, no, this is not true. Okay, yeah, we automatically ran one, but then the flow ran on its own. So let's see. So by now there should be another one, correct? 3 minutes. After 3 minutes, the 3 minutes seems too long. There you go. The third one just came in. The more one judges, the less one laughs. Honoré de Balzac. All right. So that is the power of Power Automate Premium. It's in, yes. Yeah, so Bennett, that shows you this is running on a schedule. I'm going to turn this flow off, else by the time I wake up, Twitter will probably block my account. So, and imagine you can do this. Now we're sending it to Twitter. You could send it to another flow. You could send it to any other system. I didn't have to worry about API keys, writing SDKs, libraries, format. I didn't have to worry about any of those. That is the power of the Power Automate. If this seems like something that is of interest to you and you want to learn more about it, please make sure you subscribe to the channel. You know the documentations, right? Even from, let me show you something before we go. Right, even from the portal, you can go to Learn, and this is going to take you to Microsoft Learn, and you can follow some of the steps there, some of the nice tutorial documentations they provided for you to learn that. So if this feels like something you want to do every Sunday with me and my guests and panelists that will come on the show, please make sure you subscribe to the channel. Ask your friends to subscribe, share the video, put your comment there. Let's know if we're doing a good job or a bad job or a terrible job, so that we can get the show better and better for you. Till I come your way again next week for another awesome episode. This has been the Power Series with yours truly, Samuel Adranyi. Be safe, be nice. Let's make the world a better place. Until then, I am out.